Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Exploring the Power and Potential of AI. My name is Adam Graham, and I am the Managing Director here at Click IT. At Click IT, we've spent over 2 decades working with charities, helping them overcome IT challenges and maximize the value of their technology. Today's session will explore how AI can empower the charity sector, from automating routine tasks to driving greater efficiency and creating more impactful strategies. Let's hand over to real Adam and Pav to continue with the webinar.
Big thank you to my AI assistant for that intro. Thank you all for joining us. As my assistant said, I'm Adam, and I'll be guiding you along today with my colleague Pavan. Today we'll be exploring how AI is shaping the future of organisations like yours, discussing practical ways we can leverage it effectively. Whether you're curious about AI and its capabilities or cautious about the implications, ready to embrace its full potential, we'll cover insights to help you navigate this transformative technology. Throughout the webinar, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A. There's a Q&A at the top, and we'll try and answer as many of those as possible at the end. And we'll be offering all attendees a free consultation with one of our technical account managers. If you'd like to discuss any of your IT needs, there's a booking link as well that will go into the chat. And as Pav mentioned, there's also a poll. If you want to, feel free to hit the poll and just let us know what sort of AI you're using, if any at all. A quick intro into us at Click. We are a managed service provider working now for 22 years and for the last 14 years dedicated to the not-for-profit sector. We provide managed IT support, supporting, strategizing and optimizing your day-to-day operations. Cybersecurity, keeping organizations safe from evolving digital threats such as AI. Cloud solutions, delivering scalable and efficient cloud-based systems. And website design, engaging and functional platforms for not-for-profits. We are completely tailored for the not-for-profits and education sectors, looking at the unique challenges faced by both charities and educational institutions, including budget constraints, lack of resource, unique user profiles, varying levels of technological expertise, and we offer personalised, flexible, tailored solution to your needs. So if you have any questions, do book one of those consultations at the end to see if we can help you. By providing a huge amount of free content in the form of webinars like today, in-person events, blogs, newsletters, and how-to videos, we really want to be more than just service providers. We want to work with you to guide the sector with new technology. That's enough about us. Let's get into the AI tools. So here are some tools that we're using every day at Click and in our workplace, and we believe that could help you drive your mission. So you've already seen Synthesia in action. So Synthesia is an AI website where you can create a video avatar, such as the one at the beginning of the presentation. The voice was a bit off, but it's pretty good considering all you have to do is record a short video, which is about 2 minutes long, and then that processes and creates a digital avatar. And with the avatar, you can then literally just write a script of whatever you wanted to say, and it would use your video to create a video of however you want it to look. There's also a range of stock AI assistants as well that you can create videos for. So that can be, training videos, engaging internal marketing videos, content videos aligned with your brand, your people, and your message, and that can be done in seconds. You literally just create the avatar, it processes the video, type in your content, type in your script, and it can make brilliant videos. You could use it to create multilingual videos as well, so you can create your voice into any language in the world. Interactive e-learning content, and it's just very quick, very efficient. So we won't be going into that much today, but it just gave you a quick sample of that. It's definitely something to look at and consider. Obviously, Microsoft Copilot is a big one. You might have seen our Copilot demo earlier in the year, and we have looking at the free version and the paid version today. So both of those versions that are available to you. And my colleague Pav will be providing an in-depth demonstration of the capabilities later in the session. Obviously, ChatGPT was the original. It offers versatility with free and paid tiers. So the free version is very similar to Microsoft Copilot Free, offering unique formatting, content generation. It's well worth as an alternative to Copilot. It's definitely worth looking at both and seeing the variations. And later on in the session, I'll be focusing on Copilot Plus, which can enhance productivity using custom GPTs tailored for repetitive and everyday tasks. ChatGPT Voice is AI on the go. So this is a really good mobile app which you can take around with you. It's completely hands-free, and you can have conversations with AI to discuss brainstorming ideas, looking at fantastic things like, you could have event brainstorming, fundraising ideas, and it will give you spoken instructions back, and you can also turn it into sort of training materials for your staff. It's definitely worth looking at and building into your portfolio of AI as something when you're kind of out on the go, on the train, in the gym, having some ideas of what you can do and come up with. And a newcomer as well is Google Gemini, which we're using quite a lot here as well. So you'll see now when you do a Google search, Google will now offer you AI results, which is based on information found on the web, and it resources back and links to those websites where it's found the information. That's really, really good, seamless integration into your everyday tasks, giving you quick answers rather than having to search multiple websites. These tools have become an integral part of our operations today, and we'll focus on Copilot and ChatGPT in the demonstrations to show you how you can focus on your transforming your organization's workflows. Before we start the demos, I'm just going to briefly mention the role of AI in cybersecurity, because this is obviously a big one. There's a few areas where we really want to focus. Misinformation is a growing concern. AI tools can create highly convincing, completely false information that can harm your organization's reputation or mislead your audience. You could, imagine fake articles or social media posts falsely accusing your charity of misusing funds. Without proactive monitoring, this can spread quickly and cause significant reputational damage. Deep fakes, so AI can generate fake videos and audio, like the one at the start of the video, that look and sound incredibly real, often mimicking leaders or spokespeople. That video you saw today, I think Synthesia costs less than £15 a month. And, that's something that can be created. And imagine professional versions of that can do really, really well. A deepfake video of your CEO could be used to solicit donations or fraudulent account activity, undermining trust. So it's definitely something to be aware of. Obviously, AI-driven scams has made phishing threats even more tailored to target your organizations or your organization's supporters, really looking at your data and how you interact with your team. And AI can just harness that power of LinkedIn, the words you're using, the messages you're putting across, and use them against your organization. So an email can come from your charity requesting donations or sensitive data, and AI makes these scams really, really hard to detect and much more effective. And the importance of an AI policy. So obviously, with the rapid rise of AI, it's crucial to have a policy in place in your organization to manage the responsible use of it and protect your organization against these potential threats. We have an AI policy template freely available. So if you would like a copy of that, you could put your details in the chat and request a copy of our AI policy, and we'll make sure to send that over to you after the session. But these examples show you exactly why staying ahead in cybersecurity is crucial as AI evolves. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Pav to run through prompt engineering and then some examples of Copilot.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam, and good morning, everybody. Such a fantastic turnout this morning. We've seen quite a significant number of attendees, so welcome and thank you very much for joining us. So my name is Pav, as Adam mentioned. I'm a senior account manager here at Click, and today I'm quite excited to demonstrate how Microsoft 365 and Copilot, both the free and paid versions, can significantly benefit organizations of all shapes and sizes. We'll explore various features and functionalities that can help streamline your workflows and enhance productivity and ultimately support your mission more effectively. But first, before we dive into the demos, let's talk about something critical to making AI work for you, and that is prompt engineering. So what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering means crafting the instructions you give to the AI to get the results that you need. Think of it as having a conversation where clarity is key. So here's how you can make your prompts more effective. So you can begin by being very clear. So use simple, direct language. So for example, instead of saying, help me write something, give it some more information, some more context, right? So you could say something like, write a mission statement for a new charity focused on mental health, for example. And obviously providing context is key. The more detail you can provide, the better the AI can tailor its response. So mention your charity's focus, for example, and its audience and goals. And then it's really important to remember that with AI, it may not be perfect from the get-go, but you can always iterate and refine. So don't worry if it's not perfect the first time round. You can always ask the AI to adjust and improve its output. So being clear, providing context and refining as you go can help get the most out of AI tools like Copilot. So I'm going to begin with a brief overview of Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot free to begin with. And I'm just going to share my screen, so bear with me just a moment. Fantastic. Hopefully that has come up for everybody here. And in typical fashion, Teams has placed the bar right on top of where I need to click. Okie dokie. So in front of you now on the screen is a comparison of Copilot licensing, the free versus the premium. You'll see here that they've noted it's a £19 per user per month cost for Copilot. But it's actually available slightly cheaper with a 15% discount for charities as well. They've just brought out this monthly pricing, so please feel free to get in touch with us if you'd like a little bit more detail about how this can be a cost-effective solution for yourselves. And most important takeaways here are that the free version is very basic. It's limited in what it can achieve. So it's mostly a text-based system, can do some image generation as well. But you won't be using the latest AI language models, especially not during peak times. You'll have limited usage of the Copilot voice. You won't have any access to the new AI features. You won't have early access to those, and you'll only get the possibility to create 15 images a day versus the 100 that you would get with the paid for version. It does work across multiple devices still, and there is an awful lot you can still do with the free version, some of which I'm going to touch on shortly. But you'll see here that you're not going to be able to integrate it within Microsoft 365, so it's not going to work within your applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on, Outlook, for example. You can create content with it, but it won't write the documents or create the documents for you, and it certainly won't integrate very well with Outlook. So yeah, the paid version is certainly something to be considered for all of the extra enhancements. But let's start with a quick look at Copilot free. So bear with me a second, I'll bring this up for you. So I'm using an in-private window here because I'm logged into the premium version of Copilot in my regular browser. But this is the very first thing you'll see when you visit Copilot, and it's accessible through copilot.microsoft.com. And you can just click the accept on the terms and click get started, and it will ask you your name. Oh, give it my name, and then you can also choose a voice as well. You may not hear that here, but it's given me an example of a voice there as well. So Copilot is an AI-powered productivity assistant designed to help you with a wide range of tasks. The free version is web-based, and the paid version integrates seamlessly with 365 applications like Word, Excel, and so on. So looking at Copilot free to begin with, it's quite a powerful tool, and it's designed to enhance your productivity and streamline your work at no additional cost. So here are some of the key features you can access with Copilot free. So for example, you can begin by allowing it to assist you in drafting emails. So it's excellent at text-based tasks and can do things like help you draft emails quickly and efficiently. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually going to be working on an example. Let's say we're starting a new mental health charity today called Hope Horizon. That's a name that I had AI generate for me while I was doing my prep work. So Copilot can assist in creating professional emails to potential donors and partners, as an example. It can also generate documents, so Copilot Free can help you create a variety of documents from detailed reports to meeting agendas. Imagine you're preparing a quarterly report for Hope Horizon. Copilot can organise your data into quite a clear professional format, ensuring that all necessary information is included. It can also help draft policy documents, volunteer handbooks, grant applications, and quite a few other things, that making it a lot easier to keep your operations running smoothly. And then lastly, and it's something Adam will certainly touch on more with the ChatGPT side of things later, but Copilot is also a really versatile tool for creating engaging and creative content. So for example, you can get it to help you generate eye-catching and compelling posts to keep your followers engaged. You can ask it to help you craft well-written, informative newsletters. You can develop innovative fundraising ideas using Copilot's free tool. You can have it brainstorm and plan events, including writing speeches, creating promotional materials, and drafting invitations. You can even have it write impactful stories and testimonials that highlight the work that your charity does and the people that you help. So for this demonstration, to begin with, I'm going to ask it to write an email for me. So I've opened up Copilot Free here, and we're going to see how it can help us create an email for Hope Horizon. And we're going to imagine we're starting this new charity and that we need to draft an email to potential donors. So I've opened up the browser, I've navigated to the Copilot free interface, and the first thing that I'm going to do is give it some context. Now I don't have to, and during all of my testing and prep work, the responses without providing it any context were still really powerful and very useful, but it's always helpful to give it some context. So a little bit like Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. Here's a prompt that I created just to give it some context. So it starts with keep the following for context, and it got to explain a little bit about Hope Horizon and what it is that we do as an organization here. So I'm going to submit that to the free Copilot, and it says it's understood, you can count on me to keep Hope Horizon's missions and goals in mind. So it's keeping all of this context now in mind for the later questions that I go to ask it. So the next question I'm going to ask it is to draft an email to potential donors for the new mental health charity Hope Horizon. The email should introduce the charity and explain its mission to invite recipients to support the cause. Again, I've already created this prompt, so it's just going to be a copy and paste. I'll pop that in here for you and I'll submit that, and you'll see here that it's already gone and drafted an email for me, and it says, "Dear recipient, we hope this message finds you well. We're excited to introduce you to Hope Horizon, newly established mental health charity dedicated to making a profound impact on the well-being of individuals and communities across the UK. At Hope Horizon," and so on and so forth. And it's quite a detailed email. It's got really fantastic wording, all very professionally written. And you can obviously go in and tailor this where necessary, or you can ask Copilot to make amendments just by requesting those here within the chat box. So yeah, really quick way to start an email. You could even paste a previous email in there and ask it to draft a response to that email. So it is really, really powerful. So that was just a real basic use of Copilot free, but we can enhance on this, and we can now ask it to also create documents for Hope Horizon. So now that you've seen Copilot generate some text, let's do something even more useful and create a mission statement and a strategic plan for our new charity called Hope Horizon. All using Copilot free. Again, this document is going to outline our goals, strategies, and the impact we aim to achieve. So I'm still within the free interface here, and I've already provided context to it. And I'm going to let it generate this document for me. So my prompt here, again, already made, is create a mission statement and strategic plan for the new mental health charity Hope Horizon. The document should include an introduction to the charity, fundraising goals, strategies, and the impact we aim to achieve. So I'm just going to paste that here into my chat box, and I'm going to submit that. And you'll see it goes away and has a think about it. And it very quickly comes back with a mission statement and a strategic plan, and it's got an introduction, the mission statement, then the plan itself, fundraising goals, fundraising strategies, impact we aim to achieve, monitoring and evaluation, so on and so forth. Now, if I was using the paid version, I could actually ask it to generate this in the format of a Word document, and I could download that document and then start to work on it. And it's a really nice way to smooth the transition over between the AI and your actual document and editor. But in this instance, because it's the free version, I've actually copied and pasted this information that I generated previously into a Word document, which is stored in my organization's SharePoint. Now, this is really important to remember, that if you are going to use Copilot to manage documents or to help you with documents, they need to be stored in OneDrive or SharePoint where Copilot has access to them. So I've already gone and copied and pasted that text and saved this as HH mission statement document. So this is some of the this text-based generation and some image-based basic image generation is about as far as you can go with the Copilot free version. However, what I'd like to do now is demonstrate some of the paid features so you can see if the product is a right fit for your organization. So next, let's explore the paid features of Copilot on Microsoft 365. And this offers advanced functionalities that can help further enhance your productivity. So some of the key features here would be priority access to the latest AI models, which I mentioned previously, enhanced image generation with the latest version of DALL-E and much faster and more accurate image generation, with up to 100 priority images per day. And then for me, the most important enhancement is the integration with Microsoft 365 apps. So premium users can utilize Copilot directly within Microsoft 365 apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. And this includes features like converting Word documents to PowerPoint presentations and generating summaries, for example. You can also add custom GPTs, so Adam's going to touch on that with ChatGPT shortly, but it's very similar in Copilot. You can set some parameters prior to even using it, so that it starts off with an understanding of what you're trying to achieve. And then obviously Copilot Voice, you get the full version if you get the premium as well. So for my demonstration, what I'd like to do is create a PowerPoint presentation from the fundraising bid that we've just created, from the document that we've just created. So we're going to create a PowerPoint presentation from the mission statement and strategic plan document. This presentation will help us communicate our fundraising goals and strategies to potential donors. To speed things up, I've already taken that text, as I showed you, and I put it into a Word document, which is called HH Mission Statement, and it's located in my organisation's SharePoint. So the next thing I'm going to do is navigate to Copilot Premium, and I've already got it open here in a tab. And you'll see that it's slightly different looking to the paid version as the free version, in that it's got a lot more context here. It actually understands a little bit more about my working environment, and it's built into Microsoft 365, so all the rest of Microsoft 365 is readily available at my fingertips as well. You'll notice that you have the option to switch between work and web, which is really important here. If I am switched onto the work mode here, it will have access to all of my documents, all of my emails, and I can ask it questions about these things. And it will go away and look at our environment and what we've got as an organization. If I switch it over to web, it will also include results from the web. So that's really interesting to know. You can work on Copilot in a private scenario where it won't share that data. It's in a work environment. Right, so to generate my PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to ask it to create a PowerPoint presentation from the HH mission statement. So I'll start by popping in my prompt here, which I've already created. And you'll notice the /HH mission statement. The / means I'd like it to bring a file to its attention. So I'm actually just going to delete that so I can start to type it here, and you'll see it brings up a list of contacts, but also files as well. And I can go, here's my HH mission statement. So I'm now going to say create a PowerPoint presentation from the HH mission statement document, and I'll submit that. Now, if all goes well, and we have varying degrees of results when we do live demonstrations, as always, but it's gone away and it's given me a breakdown of what that document should look like. And it's actually given me a Word document as a result, which isn't really what I wanted. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate this within PowerPoint instead. I'll bring up PowerPoint here, and you'll see that this is a new PowerPoint slideshow with nothing in it. And I have the option here to go to Copilot at the top right hand corner, or I can also access it from this little button here, and I can say create a presentation from a file. So funny enough, in my testing, when I did create a PowerPoint presentation through Copilot's web interface, it worked, but you can see they're constantly changing things, and these things are always being developed. So there may be a better interface to do it within PowerPoint now, which is again something that you would only be able to do with the paid license. So it's another reason to consider that. But you can see here I'm immediately given the prompt to create a presentation from a file. I can select that, and I can choose my HH mission statement here again. You can see here it's now generated the prompt, create a presentation from HH mission statement, and I'll submit that, and it's going to go away and have a think about it and generate a presentation for us. It's normally relatively quick, and you can see here it's starting to give us a breakdown of how that presentation is going to look. It's going to have an introduction, some fundraising goals, some fundraising strategies, awareness and outreach strategies, service provision strategies, impact goals, and a conclusion. Telling me it's almost there, so we'll give it a couple seconds longer, and there we go. You can see it's now created the basis of a presentation for me based on that Word document. So all of the content, all of the sections within this Word document are now going to be within this presentation, and you'll see as I click through, all the contents there. And really a fantastic addition is that it's added speakers notes to this as well, which gives me something to hit the ground running with. I can then go and amend those notes, and I don't ever have to start off from a blank canvas. But you'll see it's really quite smart how it's worked. And actually I've created 4 or 5 of these now in my preparation for this, and each one of them has looked and feel very, very different. So it has got incredible flexibility when it comes to the styling, but it is actually also prompting you to take a look at Designer, which is another element of Copilot and uses AI within the Designer tool. So if I click on Designer here, you can see, let's pick a slide actually that's probably a bit better than the index one. We'll give it a second. Let's close it and open it again. Designer. There we go. So you can see here, it's given me various ways in which I can lay out this page. Some of you may already be using this tool within PowerPoint, but here is the content, and I can now decide, actually, no, I want to lay it out like this, or I would like to lay it out, completely differently. So there's a really fantastic ways to very quickly improve your presentation's layout of each slide in particular. And then go back to Copilot here. I can now do things like insert slides as well. So another prompt that I've created here is insert a slide with stats on UK mental health and well-being. So I'm just going to prompt it here, and I'm going to say insert that prompt in the chat and send. And you'll see it goes away, has a little think about it, does some research on the web, it does some research on the documents that I've got in 365 and this Word document that I used to generate this in particular. And now it's going to produce a result for me. So you can see it's included a slide, it's got some useful graphics in it, and it's got some stats here actually that approximately 1 in 8 children and young people in the UK have mental health disorder. So it is really clever, and it's gone away and added some real value here to that particular slide. I can then also add additional slides. So I've got another prompt here for add a slide on the importance of mental health support and what it can achieve. I'll just paste that in here. And again, it's going to go away and generate that slide for me. So you can see it's really quick, and you can amend slides and change parts of slides or add new content to your documents really easily. And there's the new slide that is just created for me. So it's really easy to improve a presentation. We've demonstrated that now, creating the content for the Word document and then generating a presentation from that. But let's try something slightly different now. Let's use this as a basis now to create an annual report for my charity, Hope Horizons. So based on this document here, I'm now going to give it a prompt, draft an annual report presentation for my charity, Hope Horizons. And I'm going to submit this prompt, and you'll see that it's going to firstly tell me you haven't saved this document. Now, if I click yes here, it's going to overwrite this document. For the purpose of this example, I can do so. I have an option to say no thanks and to save it elsewhere, but let's replace, because we've got no need to save this now. And you'll see it goes away, and it's now going to create an annual report for Hope Horizon. So not only have I generated a document based on the Word document I've provided, but now I've gone and created more documents based off the back of the presentation it's also created as well. So one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you've got a fantastic set of documents to work with and a really good foundation to begin working in this instance for Hope Horizon. So you can see here it's created an annual report completed with some animations as well. Interestingly enough, it's kept a very similar look and feel to previous, but you can use Designer to change that. And you can see it's got charity overview, about Hope Horizons, accomplishments, number of people helped, all of these things that you would think to be useful in an annual report. And it even goes through to some of the financials as well, I believe. So really, really lovely way. And again, it's just at a click of a button. I haven't had to do much legwork here. It's done it all for me. So those are a few examples of how Copilot can work within PowerPoint, and of course using a Word document as well. But now, provided we've got a little bit of time, I'd also like to show you how Copilot can work in Excel. And this one has proven a little bit trickier in my demonstration, so hopefully it works okay for you. But the first thing I'm going to do is visit the Copilot web interface here. And I'm going to ask it to generate a spreadsheet to help me track donors to my charity. Now, obviously, most organisations will have more advanced systems than just using a spreadsheet, but we're looking at something just to begin with here. So I've created a prompt, create an Excel document for tracking donations made to Hope Horizons, and I'd also like it to include 100 sample donations using real names and include totals and formulas, ensure the donations are in British pounds, and include columns for gift aid, email addresses, marketing opt-in, location, and anything else I should be tracking. So you see that's my prompt. I've given it there. I'm going to submit that now, and it's going to go away and create an Excel spreadsheet for me. So you can see it's having a think about it here, and it should ideally generate the Excel spreadsheet. It does say here that it's going to provide the Excel spreadsheet shortly. And in the interest of not waiting, I think what will happen is previously it's asked me would I like to download it or email it, but it can take a moment. But in the interest of not waiting, here's one I made earlier again. Bear with me a second. Won't be a moment, just opening up. Brilliant. So you can see, I'll just drag this over to the correct screen. There we go. You can see the spreadsheet that it's created. It's given me donation IDs, a donor name, date, amount, gift aid, email addresses, whether they've opted into marketing or not, and then some notes as well. And then it normally includes a total at the below here as well. And that is, it also includes the formula to calculate the total, probably the easiest formula you could do in Excel, but it does include that for you. So you can see it's gone and created a spreadsheet based off of my notes, and it did allow me to download that previously as well, but this time it's obviously looking to generate it. It's going to take a little bit longer. But now that I've got that data, I appreciate we don't have an incredible amount of time remaining, but now that I've got that data, I'll show you what you can do with that. So I can ask Copilot here now to analyze the donor data for Hope Horizon and provide insights on the donor demographics, donation patterns, and potential areas for increasing donations. So I'll send that through, and hopefully it knows, based on the donor data for Hope Horizon, here are some insights on donor demographics and donation patterns and potential areas of interest. And you can see it's given us some really fantastic stats here. So geographic distribution, the majority of donators are located in urban areas with significant concentration in London and other major cities. This suggests that urban populations are more engaged with Hope Horizon's mission. Age groups, donors are primarily in the age of 30 to 50. Genders, it's given donation patterns and frequency and amounts and payment methods and potential areas for increasing donations. And you can see where this would all be really useful if you were looking to analyze some of the data that you have in your spreadsheets. So yeah, I mean, that brings me to the end of my demonstration of some of the features of Copilot free and paid. But there is a whole lot more that you can do with this tool, and given the opportunity, we can certainly explore those with you on an individual basis. But for now, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope this demonstration has given you a clear understanding of how Microsoft 365 and Copilot can benefit you. And if you have any questions or would like to learn more on how to implement Copilot for your charity, please feel free to reach out to us. You can book a session with us, and we can have a free consultation to discuss this or even demonstrate it on a one-to-one basis. And let's look forward to working together and making a positive impact on how AI can help change things within the world that we live. But for now, I'll pass over back to Adam, and we look forward to answering your Q&As at the end as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Pav. That was really, really good and engaging, and it's really great to see how quickly and easily, that was sort of 15, 20 minutes there, of how much data you can get out of Copilot. I mean, to do those things manually, to create those presentations, those Excel spreadsheets, that would take you hours without the use of AI. So really, really good content there, and really some good efficiencies that can be practically used. I'm going to look into ChatGPT Plus now. So this is the paid version of ChatGPT. It comes in around about $20 per month per user. Obviously, you don't need to pay for it for every single user in the organization. It may just be a couple of people that are doing maybe marketing or fundraising or strategy and things like that. But it really is worth having a few people paying for these advanced features of AI. The language models that we use day to day, and many of you, I imagine, already using, are fantastic. But using these paid versions, it really does have some big benefits. So what I'm going to be focusing on is custom GPTs. So what are custom GPTs? Custom GPTs are tailored versions of ChatGPT that you can personalize to fit your organization's specific needs and workflows. They allow you to define behaviors, tone, and knowledge areas, making them a perfect fit for unique tasks and operations. Why would we want to use them? So efficiency, so we can automate repetitive tasks and free up time for more strategic work. Consistency, ensuring responses follow your organization's branding, tone, and specific guidelines. And specialization, creating a tool that understands your sector's jargon, processes, priorities, and what you want to achieve as an organization. Some of the key features of custom GPTs is how you can define that the GPT should behave and interact with users. You can upload specific information or data sets to enhance its expertise. And build GPTs designed to handle particular tasks such as drafting policies, managing FAQs, creating reports. So I'm going to go through how to build a custom GPT, so how to access it, setting it up, configuring it, and then testing it and refining it. So I'm just going to switch over to my web browser now. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to show you here. So this is my version of ChatGPT, ChatGPT Plus. And with this, you get a lot of different features. So you get lots of different GPT models for a start. You also get the ability to customize your own ChatGPT. So first of all, I give it custom instructions for how I want it to behave in general. So this gives us information about who we are and what we do. So it has some context already. So I haven't got to keep providing context in every interaction I have. And this is really fantastic. One of the things I always like to say is British English, to get rid of all those Zs that it puts in if you use ChatGPT a lot or Copilot. But that's one of the things that's really good to do. It's just all new chats you have, it just knows your business model, your organization model. And then we can look at custom GPTs. So if I go to customize ChatGPT, my GPTs, there are a number of pre-defined custom GPTs that I've already built and that I'm going to use for today's demonstration. Here's a couple that I use internally, so creating my own LinkedIn posts. So if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, please do. Hopefully you'll see some fantastic content on there, mostly produced by ChatGPT, but quite a bit by myself as well. We also have a client FAQ, which we can share, so anyone with a link can access that and ask questions directly about our organization. And we've completely customized that to how we work, looking at our website and our internal documentation that we want to share with our clients. But these are the ones I'm going to use for today's demonstration. So I've come up with an organization a little bit different to Pav's one, called Meow Mission, Rescuing Cats. And we'll look at a couple of tools today and see how much time we've got. But the first one here is a content creation tool. So a lot of marketers are obviously using ChatGPT and Copilot, and this is an idea of how it works. So you can literally click create a new ChatGPT, and you're given this screen here. So here I am, basically give it a name, very simple, content creation tool, and a description. This just tells you what it does. And then this is the really important part, is the instructions. So I'm setting a set of instructions so that every message and every bit of information I put in, I don't have to redefine the interaction. So use British English, like we've already talked about. This tool is designed to create engaging online content for our not-for-profit organization using X, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I've given it its branding guidelines, mission statement, brand tone, and it's going to be different language for different GPTs, because this one's going to be using positive, uplifting language. You know, we don't want to be overly formal or technical because it's, again, accessible on social media. The pillars of our messaging, calls to action, so some ideas of how we talk and our campaigns, and some statistics on our impact as well over the last year. So again, all of this information I've put in so that it knows all of this before I start. I haven't got to start like that. And then with that information, you can put as much or as little detail in there as you want. You can add conversation starters, so a few ideas there, and you can actually upload files. So you can have maybe you can have a set of files which include your brand guidelines, your mission statement, your tone of voice, all of these things that you might have in an organization. You can upload it straight into the GPT, and then you can sit here and test it and refine it to see how it works. So one good thing as well is you can share this too. So you can share it just obviously with yourself, anyone with a link, or share it internally to your organization. This is really good for either creating, like I say, the FAQs that we created earlier, or for internally working together and having a bit of information. So let's first of all go back, and then we'll look at how it works in person. So there's some prompts I've created earlier. Let me just get those up on my screen, and I'll show you how this works now. So we'll go back. So here are the list of the custom GPTs I've created. I've clicked on the Meow Mission content creation tool. And this tells me a bit about who it is and who's created it. And I'm going to say, okay, create a social media post for our event promoting cat adoption, PERS reports, create images to go with the post. And that's, very little information I've given it, but because of all the context it's got in the background, it's going to be able to give me a lot more detailed information. This is the image creation section here. And to be fair, for ChatGPT, this is pretty good. It's actually spelt things right. It does have an issue with spelling, and sometimes in some of my custom GPTs, I say, don't put any text on images because of the spelling. This is quite a good image here. Social media posts. So again, it's done different posts based on different platforms, because again, as if you're a marketer, you will know each of the platforms have a different target audience and different ways of using the algorithm. So it's going to try and define those based on each of the social medias. So a Facebook post, an Instagram post, and a Twitter post. Again, that's obviously short and sharp. I say, okay, but now I want to use that content to also create a content for an event page for our website. And again, it's using the content that it's already got above, as in the event details, as well as all the context about our organization that we've predefined. And again, everything you need to add in, it's just put in the square brackets. Obviously, you do need to review the information, but it's really, really good at looking at different ways of doing this and different ways of laying out the data based on how you're using the data. And then lastly, I'm going to say, create a blog showcasing the success of the event with over 100 attendees and many more cats. I was going to say cats rescued. And again, I've used the same information, all of the context in the background, and this created me now a blog post which I can put on my website. So I've got social media posts, an event page, and then a blog post talking about the success of the event. It's all within seconds, all very, very defined to my organization and how I want it to work. Or in this case, our mission. It's got some really good content in there, and you can link these together. So it's really good. You can copy and paste that. So I'm just going to show you another one now. Oh, sorry, keep going to the wrong one. My GPTs, and this is another one I've created here called grant writing support. So this is again more of an internal one. So if I go to edit GPT, so grant writing support GPT, assisting drafting grant proposals for funding. This GPT will be used to assist in drafting grant proposals for our charity Meow Mission. So again, the tone is going to be very different. So it's formal and persuasive because we're looking at creating grant documents. We're looking at structuring clear responses, headings and bullet points, and aligning with the missions and goals. And then we want to emphasize urgency of saving cats and the measurable impact. So it's very, very different to the content creation tool because we're looking at how we can use it to create grant information. But again, I've used the same mission statement. I've put some details of the programs that we run as a Meow Mission. So again, I created these using ChatGPT in the first place. So different initiatives that we've used, cat adoption drives, that kind of thing. So it's got a bit of information, and again, more and more context. The more context you give ChatGPT, the better it's going to get at getting me the answers. So that's the context I've given it in the background. Again, I could have uploaded documents and other things like that. And I can share this. And if I go back now, I've drafted a few prompts as well. So draft a 500-word grant proposal to look at to a local council seeking funding for a mobile veterinary unit. It's gone away. It's used the data I've got in the background. And again, I need to insert the content there, the dates, the local council names. But it's, again, a much more formal style of writing, much more persuasive and driven, looking at a very different audience than our content creation tool. So it's giving us program descriptions, objectives, budgets. And again, all of these you'll have to put in, but I've obviously given it pre-information into what we're looking to do. So it's giving this the impact and the conclusion. So that's a letter style. And then I can put in, okay, find other funders that might be interested in this proposal. And this is actually going to now go and search the web. So it's going to search the web and give me funders that may be looking at that, and actually provide links to these other funders. When I did this before, it came up with about 10 or 15 different funders, which is fantastic, because if you're looking for funding applications, you can actually put in your grant proposal and then say, right, who could be out there and fund it? If I click on here as well, the sources are clicked, so it's going to show me where I can go to apply for these grants. And look, there's some brilliant ones here. And you can say, okay, give me more information on the pet rescue grant. Provide more information on the pet rescue grant. Oh, help if I can spell it right. And again, it's going to go away, search the web. It's added more links here as well, but it's going to tell us a bit about the grant details, and there's 2 different grants available. And then I can also say, okay, that's really fantastic. Rewrite my grant proposal for the pet rescue grant. Oh. Obviously, I can't spell rescue today. And again, it's going to look at it, and it's going to look at those web pages and those sources and provide me a grant written proposal based on what they want to see. Again, look how quick that is. And I could go through and do this for all, I don't know how many it came up with there. It came up with 10 different grant funding places. I could go and get this written for 10 different grant funders in a matter of minutes and go and submit these on their websites or via email. And you can actually ask it, how do I submit it? Obviously, a lot of them are going to be through the web. And this is another idea I had from this as well, was create a GoFundMe page for this grant proposal. So you could look at GoFundMe as well. And it will know what GoFundMe is. It's going to search on the web to find out what GoFundMe is. And it's going to say, okay, this is what we're going to put together for that. And it's going to, again, use different content and different information for that. But it's all different ways of doing it. Let's put that forward for us. It's given us solutions, why we need it, what we're trying to raise, our impact, all of those amazing things. It's going to have the donation link and all those kind of things. And then you can actually go back to your content creation tool and say, okay, create social media posts to highlight our GoFundMe page. And then, you can go around in circles with this, do more and more, but see how quickly I can put this together. It's really, really simple and easy to do. And as long as it's got the context in the background, I haven't got to keep giving it that context. So I can just keep going back. It knows what I've already done, how I'm working, and the information about my organization and my charity. I'm just a bit nervous of time here because I do have one more, but I'll quickly show you the last one. So this is done, again, like a Facebook post, Instagram post. I didn't even ask it to do Instagram, LinkedIn. Hasn't done X this time for some reason, but I can obviously ask it to do that. So the last one I've created here is simplifying policy documents. So I'll show you this one. So again, this is more of an internal one. So to assist staff or stakeholders by generating concise and easy to understand summaries. If I look at the information, it says understand summaries of lengthy policy documents while maintaining accuracy and highlighting key points. Professional, clear and approachable tone. Avoid overly technical language and plain English wherever possible. Focus on the main points of the document. Use bullet points, short paragraphs, and prioritize actionable insights, roles, responsibilities, and key takeaways. So again, it's about breaking down those lengthy policy documents so you can give people like an overview. So we're going to try this now as well. So what I can do, I've got a policy document that I created earlier using ChatGPT, and I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to say, simplify this document. You can actually upload documents. I have found that the upload is actually a lot better if you connect it to your OneDrive or to your Google Drive. If you upload from your computer, it does seem to get stuck half the time. So if you're going to use documents quite a lot, it's definitely better to connect if you can. I'm just going to paste it in. So I've got quite a long document here. Hopefully that's put it all in. And it's going to give me, this is a volunteer guidelines document, which again I've made up using ChatGPT. And again, it's going to literally turn this, quite lengthy document here into bullet points and real, easy to digest information that we can share with our team and our staff. That may be a bit easier for them to digest. You can actually say as well, it's looking at UK law as well. So I asked it to do that. And then we say, okay, create an email to staff highlighting the key information. That's what I say, and linking to the main document. And here we go. It's going to create that information straight on an email. So you can share that with your staff or your new staff. And it just gives them the key points, but it also links to the main document because it's obviously important they see the main document, but they've got the key points there in an email. And again, it's turned a really lengthy document into a few key bullet points here. Really, really easy to do. And you could even say, I tried this one earlier as well, create a volunteer advert based on this policy. So if we're looking for new volunteers that want to be able to stick to our volunteer guidelines, then it's actually going to create, again, it's got all of the context in the background. It's going to create a volunteer advert based on that policy. So you can see, in, 10, 15 minutes there, I've got social media tools created. I've got policy documents, grant finding information. I've searched the web. And there's some real good and easy ways to do that. But these custom GPTs are really, really powerful. So it definitely is a way of, sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong one. Creating these in advance. So you haven't got to keep giving the context and the information that you want. So it's a really, really good way of kind of making sure that all of your team have the same content, the same background across all of your marketing opportunities. Hopefully you found that information and informative. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go back now and we're going to have a look at the Q&A. So I'm going to invite Pav back in as well. Hopefully he can see that. And we've also got to go through the poll results as well, actually, from the beginning of the session to see. Here we go. It's quite interesting. So out of which AI platform we've used, 54% are using ChatGPT. It's quite interesting to see the difference there. Copilot 15%, Gemini 15%, and none at all for 15%. So it's really, really interesting to see that a lot of people are actually using ChatGPT more than Copilot and the others. My actual preference myself is obviously ChatGPT, as you can see, but I think that Copilot definitely has some real unique benefits, especially the paid version again, creating those documents and PowerPoints and working together on your data. So we do use that internally as well. And actually, Pav didn't mention earlier, it's really good in using in Teams. So it can actually take your notes from Teams and summarize them for you and give some great information there. And again, in Outlook, if you've got long, lengthy email trails, you can go through those email trails and summarize those email trails for you and provide, with a response to some of those email trails based on a few words you might put in, okay, approve this payment, and it will go through and just summarize and write that information for you. So some of those tools that we do use as well day to day are a lot better because they're built into your kind of Microsoft tools. Let's have a quick look at the Q&A.
Really fantastic questions from everybody in the Q&A today. Thank you very much for all contributing. I've answered a few in there already, but we'll certainly be able to go through some of these and discuss. Shall we go through these from the top down, Ad?
Yeah, I'll go through. I'll start. Yeah, so I see one here. So can you create My GPT on a free version so it holds all the background info? No, you can't. You do need to have the paid version for that. But I would say that what you could also do is have all of that context and information and put it in maybe a Word document that you store, copy and paste that in and say, use this as context, and then use the free one on top of that. So you're giving it the context first. Obviously, it's a little bit longer because you have to keep pasting it in every time you start a new chat. It's definitely worth looking at as well. And as I say, I think ChatGPT Plus, if you had it for a couple of users, is $20 per month. There's another one here.
I did actually mention on that there is a 20% discount on ChatGPT for Teams for charities, and I popped a link in the Q&A there as well to the OpenAI non-profit web portal or web page. So if you're looking at ChatGPT for more than one user, it might be worth considering the team licensing and perhaps getting a bit of a discount as well.
See another one here saying the opportunities are incredible, but so are the dangers. How does an organization protect itself from the obvious exploitation possibilities? Yeah, that's really, really key point there. I did touch on some of the cybersecurity issues with AI. One of the things I'll definitely say is having that AI policy and making sure you're having the conversation with your team, with your staff, with your volunteers, talking about AI and how best to use it. You don't want misinformation. You do want people fact checking it against what they're finding, not putting out grant proposals that I've just done there that haven't been fact checked. You need obviously to do the background information. So it's all about having correct policy, having clear conversations and educating really. And then there's a lot of resources online for that as well. That's what we're trying to do today, things like that as well. So definitely having that education piece around AI is really important to stop about exploitation. And then there's obviously a lot of cybersecurity tools around as well, but I think that's probably for another webinar.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that AI is also being developed to protect you at the same time as it can compromise. So there's a number of tools, including the MDR tool that we recommend from Sophos, which uses AI to help you protect your systems and your users. So do speak to us if that is something of interest.
Someone said here, if NHS services use AI to write letters, which include sensitive information about patients, where does the information get stored? So there's a bit of controversy on this. My understanding is if you have the paid version, any information you put in does not train the model. However, if I personally was had sensitive data, I would anonymize the data first. So even though it says it's not used to train the model, and we have looked into these privacy policies, I would always err on the side of caution and avoid putting GDPR data in there. Personally, I don't put any data in there that is GDPR protected because I think it would be too much of a risk. So yeah, err on the side of caution, anonymize the data if you can. That's definitely the best way of doing it.
Yeah, there's a couple of questions in here relating to where ChatGPT is referencing its sources, especially for the stats that I put in the presentation there, because obviously it's great having stats at the press of a button, but if they're not accurate, then that needs to be considered. So what I would suggest there is using the web portal for ChatGPT to verify those stats, and you can ask it questions relating to those stats and ask it to point out where it has got that information from, and it will provide you the links to those as well. It wasn't immediately evident within the PowerPoint presentation itself as to where it got those stats from, but there will be a source, and you can just ask it to verify those sources within the web portal or web interface, and it will give you links to all of that as well.
A question here from Emily: can Copilot read PDF files? Yes, 100%. So again, if you open up a PDF file in Microsoft Chrome or Microsoft Edge, sorry, Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, you can press the Copilot button to summarize the PDF or ask questions about the PDF. So yes, it can definitely read PDF files. I think Adobe can do it as well, actually.
Somebody else has asked about the images, then whether they are copyright or whether there's any issues with the images it creates. I'd done a little bit of digging on this during the last part of the webinar there, to be honest, to answer it. And the answer is that they are, they tend to be free to use and royalty free. There's no issues there. But what you might want to consider is watermarking them as created by AI, just to make sure it's evident that they are. And you can even ask, the GPTs to do that for you. Copilot can add a watermark to the image when you generate it if you ask it to do so.
If someone here says, with Copilot, it doesn't matter if your system is Microsoft, Mac or cloud-based. So Copilot free will work on any platform. So whether it's Google Chrome, Chromebooks, Apple Mac, Microsoft devices, completely free across all the different platforms. The Copilot paid version does interact a lot better if you are using the Microsoft suite of services. So Microsoft 365, as Pav said, you have to store your documents within OneDrive or SharePoint for it to read those documents. Can you use a template presentation? Yes, we do that all the time, actually. So we have a pre-built template for our company presentations, and you can actually ask Copilot to build the presentation on top of your template, and that works really, really well. Obviously, again, you might want to configure a few things like that, but if you have templates pre-built, it can put the data directly into your templates, which is actually really good.
Someone else has actually mentioned which would be best for minute taking and writing during meetings. And to be honest with you, apologies for not demonstrating that today. It's difficult because this is already a webinar within Teams, but Copilot within Teams is extremely powerful, and it summarizes the transcripts and provides notes and insights. It's really, really useful for that. So I would definitely suggest using Copilot if Teams is your preferred method for communications.
Someone's here mentioned that obviously AI can deepfake CEO voices and video. How can we prevent that? So again, there's been a lot of information on this in the news, and the technology is definitely there if on the more paid and enhanced versions for doing that. I mean, if you're really, really concerned, obviously a lot of people do know their CEO. So if you're having conversations, people who have created things like safe words. But obviously, if you're if a deepfake version of you was presented online somewhere, the only thing you can really do is sort of report that to the relevant authorities and to the platform that it's being presented on, and ask them to take it down because it is fake. So it is, again, very, very dangerous, and it is something to be concerned about. So you really do want to, obviously be aware of what's out there and what's happening. And if you were aware of that, I'd definitely sort of look to report that to the relevant authorities.
Yeah, someone here has asked as well, which AI tool would be recommended best for data creation and analysis, and I think I would have to side with Copilot there as well, because of its integration with Excel and the ability to query all of your data and content within SharePoint and OneDrive. It's extremely powerful for analysis of data. Whereas ChatGPT, it can be integrated with your OneDrive and SharePoint. To be honest with you, it's not something we have explored at great length ourselves. But from our understanding, the Copilot offering, it would make sense. It's built by Microsoft to work with Microsoft products, is much better integration.
Okay, we're kind of just out of time now, but I do really appreciate that, and I see a few more messages coming in. What we'll do, if you have got any more messages after the session, we will try and get back to you and answer those as we go through. So we'll come up with follow-up emails, and we'll try and answer any questions you've got. But again, you can book a free consultation. So all attendees are able to book. There's a booking link in the chat to book with one of our IT team to speak about AI or any of your IT needs in general, your website, your cybersecurity. So yeah, really, really good if you want to book in one of those sessions with one of our team today. But do thank you very much for attending. There's been a lot of you here today, which has been fantastic, and it's great to be able to do that. And obviously a lot of thank yous in the chat as well. So if there's anything else you want to see as well, please do come back to us on what we didn't show you today, because we are looking to obviously put on webinars. We put them on at least once a month this year, and we're looking to maybe do more next year. We put out around 8 blogs a month. We send out newsletters every month, security bulletins every month. There's obviously a lot of social media content and how-to videos. So we put out a lot of free content out there. But if there's things that we're not putting out that you want to see, do please let us know, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.